Hi, Dr. McKenzie here. I want to talk to you for a few minutes about my favorite course that I do. I do a course called Self-Actualization Learning Technologies. No, that's the technologies that I use. The course that I do is Self-Actualization, the Experience, and I used to call it Healing Through Humor, but people didn't want to be healed, and I'm rather humorous. You may not see it in this video, but if you come to a class, you'll definitely get a sense of my sense of humor as I laugh with and or at you, depending upon how seriously you're taking life. But I call it Self-Actualization, the Experience, because that's what happens in a weekend. There's an actual experience for most participants, and they go to a state of self-actualization. Now, the state of self-actualization is outlined by Abraham Maslow. I had a client come in years ago. She was a teacher, and she was young, 22 or 23, which is kind of young for somebody to be searching so strenuously for self-actualization. And I said to her, what got you here? She said that she had read all the principles and read Maslow's books, which I haven't. I don't really enjoy that type of reading. But she said she'd read all the principles, read all the conditions of a person in self-actualization, and although she could identify them, she knew that she wasn't there. And knowing that is half the battle, but she knew where she wanted to be. So she came into the class, and on Sunday evening, she started to go out into higher states of awareness. And I could see that she was out there. You can watch a person, their vitality becomes tremendous. Their vitality in their eyes, the curiosity in their eyes, the brightness in the eyes, the luminosity in the eyes is amazing. And when she came back into the room on Sunday, I started laughing at her, and she got chuckling too. And I said, "Is this what you expected?" And she said, "Absolutely not." She said, "This is a great space. I love it." And that is what we look for in the class. We look for the experience. 22, 23 years ago, I took a class with a man, and in a weekend, I experienced what I had been missing in my life, and I knew that I had been missing it, but I didn't know what I had been missing. Okay? I don't know if that makes sense to you or not. But earlier in my life, I had almost a random, very transient experience of the perfection of life. And it was fleeting, and once it was gone, I couldn't find it again. But I knew that it was possible. I knew that it could exist. Then in one weekend, I went back to that state of just absolute happiness, having fun in my life, and looking at how life worked. And I didn't have to use New Age language. I didn't have to hug people. I didn't have to do anything like that because I'm not a really huggy-feely person unless I really, really enjoy somebody. But with self-actualization, the experience, the intention is to show you the mechanism that you can recreate for yourself a self-actualized state. When my daughter came home, my daughter goes to a very eclectic international school, the École Humanitaire in Switzerland. If you're looking at a really neat, really good high school for your kids, definitely look for them online, as they've done my kids a world of good. Both Ian and Naomi love it. But there's a lot of, it's a completely international school. There's kids from all over the world. And Naomi and Ian are there. And among them, there are a whole bunch of Asian kids. I mean, there's from all over the world, but there's a lot of Asian kids. And Naomi came home one day on holiday, and she said, "Dad, do you get high when you meditate?" I thought, no, actually I don't. I've meditated off and on for years. I'm not dedicated, devoted. I don't do it all the time. I'm very undisciplined about it. But the one thing I very rarely do, I've experienced it on a few occasions, of course, getting high. But I said, "No, honey, that's why I work." She said, "What?" I said, "When I do my work, when I have an interchange with my clients, when I spend a weekend with people, somewhere in the weekend, I always go to a heightened state of awareness, to a high that I can't explain, but by God, I enjoy. By Monday, the world makes no sense to me. My life makes no sense. Nobody makes any sense. And I just sit and revel in that. Because as far as I can see, life doesn't make any sense." Now, if you want your life to make sense, find a different technology. If you want to be motivated to doing things you do or do not want to do, then find another technology. I don't motivate. I don't do very well at that. Though I do one thing extremely well. I sit in front of the room, I make people laugh, I have fun with them, and we go to higher states of awareness. I could explain this more, but I'd have to get the charts out. You could get my book that I just talked about. That might help a little bit. Or you can come to a class. And classes are Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I do them around the world. I do them wherever people want me to do them, if they bring me there. But the reason the class is called The Experience is because we show you how to experience your own self-actualization. It's not Mick-actualization. It's self-actualization. And then we look at certain principles within the context of the class. We'll actually look at a whole bunch of different principles that work and don't work in life. But one of the things we look at is how fragile your happiness is and how easily it can be taken. Some of you believe you would take it away from you, but we'll get into that a little bit later. But how easily your happiness can be taken away. And I tell people, come to the class. When I find you out in your absolute happiness, when I see you out there, I will do my best to take it away from you. People invariably say, you can't take it if I don't want you to. And invariably I can say something insulting enough to get their happiness. And they get pissed off and angry and start yelling at me. And I say, wait, it's just a point. It's only a point. Did you let me take your happiness? He said, no, I wanted to hang on to it. I said, I know. And we show you how to defense. We show you how to defense and be ruthless around your happiness, to be compassionate with other people so that you can sustain and maintain your own happiness. Abraham Lincoln said, you can't help the poor by becoming one of them. What I say is you can't help the unhappy by becoming one of them. The only way you can assist people who are unhappy and who want to be happy is to maintain your happiness. What you'll learn in the class also is to discern between people who want to be happy and people who don't want to be happy. Because on the planet, there seem to be people who have been so deeply, deeply enculturated, so deeply injured, that they don't want to find their own happiness. But if you can reside in yours and just wait for them, a lot of times they'll bypass a lot of their enculturation, a lot of their mediocrity, the stuff that they've learned. Now again, when I do my classes, I know one thing. I know that everybody comes in a state of perfection. I know that everybody has been enculturated into a less than magnificent point of life. If they weren't, they wouldn't be willing to spend a weekend with me. Think about it. I mean, they must have better things to do than spend 3 days, like Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday with me. But if they're desperate and they know that their life can be different, which described me 22 years ago. I was a chiropractor, I had my own practice, I wasn't married, I was doing a lot of things that I wanted to do, and my life wasn't working quite the way I thought it should. I thought it should be better than this. In a weekend, I saw that it shouldn't. In a weekend, I thought that it would never be. In a weekend, I saw that I was me for this lifetime, and one of the things, I fell in love with me. I learned to love me for no particular reason, just like I did when I was a kid. Now, we didn't find my inner child, because, as the Eagles say, if I find your inner child, it's going to kick its little ass, okay? Because we're, as Bill Hicks says, let's get in touch with our outer adult. And our outer adult wants to be fun, wants to be productive, wants to live a life of vitality and engagement and excitement. If this sounds like fun, check out the website. If that sounds like fun, check out my schedule. If my schedule does not come near you, write to me. I need a minimum of 10 people, a maximum of 12. I need a place to work. And that's about it. Have a fun day. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you soon.